How do you feel about going to high school?
Nervous.
What makes you nervous? What's worrying you?
Everything.
Everything.
It's just new school. It's also a new type of school. And yeah, that's kind of, it's just one of those things that make you nervous.
Is there anything that really excites you about going to high school? Is there something you're looking forward to?
Making new friends.
Creating an ASD-friendly environment from a secondary perspective poses some additional challenges. The high school setting is what we would call a never-ending, changing environment. So this is really challenging for students with an ASD. If you think about the fact that they're expected to change classrooms every 45 to 50 minutes, and in doing that they have to change classroom teachers, they have to shift their attention from one subject to another subject in a very short space of time. There's also a lot of increased movement and a lot of extra noise in a high school situation. So these factors alone really raise some significant issues. What we would hope to do in that high school setting is be really respectful of the fact that we're dealing with adolescents and try to be a little discreet in the supports that we're introducing and makes things across a whole school support so that they actually have an opportunity to fit in with their peer group and make some really strong connections.
Often teachers will have 150 kids that they're working with, and it's really difficult for me to personally go around and talk to them. So I actually provide them with a folder of information, and in this folder it actually outlines all the students with disability, particularly the students with ASD, and then the teachers can actually have a look at their class list, line it up. Then all this information is actually available online for staff, so when they get a chance they can identify what kids they've got and they can go through the folder. The other thing that's been really important about these folders, other than teachers knowing who the kids are in their classes, is actually giving them additional information about students with autism or Asperger's. So every staff member in our school actually gets a whole pack, because they're often going to be in the yard and the kids will be, maybe having a meltdown in the yard, and they'll actually have some strategies of how to deal with that child, even if they don't personally know it. So it really is empowering the staff with information.
Things like colour coding the timetable, because abbreviations are really complex things to follow on a timetable, matching that colour coding up with the covers of books, colour coded in exactly the same way, taking that to another level and ensuring that we have that colour coding in their lockers so that they know where their books sit when they're actually not being used. The use of an organisation folder is a wonderful support in a secondary setting. Students only need to carry the books that they're using for that particular block with them. They can put their diary in the same folder, they can have their stationery carried with them, and we can individualise that so that they're able to have their own power scripts and their own social stories if it's needed to help them keep on track and know how to be organised. We can also back this up with an organisation group so that students are brought together for some time of the day to prepare for what's ahead, so that they have the right equipment. There's nothing worse than turning up to an art lesson without your apron and finding then that you're going to be singled out then, when we could have had that dealt with within that organisation group time. So I guess it's all about setting them up for success, and organisation is a really key area.
Most teenagers have a mobile phone, and we actually find that the kids with ASD are very good with technology. And so we actually put their timetable on their phone, and it means that we can actually colour code it. And then the kids actually have their timetable there. We colour code their books and folder. So when they need to go to the next lesson, the secondary school is very big, the kids are moving around. They can get out their phone, they have a look at what's on the phone, red for science, they get their red book, red folder, put that all together, and they can head out the door. And then while they're going, the other thing that we actually have put onto their phone is a transition type photograph. So the kids have gone around and taken photos of all the different buildings. And when they look on their phone, they can go, all right, I'm going off to science. And they can bring up the picture of science and even possibly the teacher they've got.